Good day, everyone. My name is Osoka Joy. I'm in the Department of Software Engineering. So, today we'll be looking at the book review of As a Man Thinketh. So, in chapter 1, we'll be talking about thoughts and character. A person's life reflects to the nature of their thoughts. Positive thoughts leads to a life of virtue, while negative thoughts leads to failure. We have the power to make our ways and change our fates by changing our thoughts. For example, every spring we see flowers spring out from seeds, right? This illustration was used by the author in the novel. He explained how the character of a man flows out of what he thinks. A person's life reflects the nature of their thoughts. That's why we say positive thoughts lead to a life of virtue, while negative thoughts creates failure. So moving on to chapter 2. So in chapter 2, we'll be talking about effects on thoughts on circumstances. If we plant positively, our circumstances will be positive. But if we plant negatively, our circumstances will be negative as well. We should be able to take control of our thoughts and recognize that we have the power to change our circumstances. Good thoughts bear good fruits, but bad thoughts bear bad fruits. The mind is like a garden. Again, the author still uses the garden as an illustration that our lives reflects the seeds planted on it. Our lives reflects the thoughts we cultivate in our minds. If we plant positively, our circumstances will improve. But if we focus on the negative sides of our life, it will reflect negatively as well. So moving on to chapter 3. So in chapter 3, we'll be talking about the effects of thoughts on health and body. Whatever the mind thinks, good or bad, it will have its effects on the body. Negative thoughts brings diseases like depression and blood pressure. Maintain positive and calm thoughts and improve your mental and physical health. If you want to change your diet or body, you first change your mind. So in the novel, the author said that the body is the servant of the mind. Whatever the mind thinks, good or bad, will have its results in the body, in the way the body behaves. If you want to change your diet or your body, you first change your mindset. So in chapter 4, we'll be talking about thoughts and purpose. Have a strong purpose combined with focused thoughts, because that's the key to achieving success. Setting a definite goal and thinking positively keeps you on the right track. Have a clear image on the need for having a purpose. So here, thoughts should be aligned with a purpose. The author compares life to a ship, saying that if a ship doesn't have a clear destination, it will wander aimlessly, like a person without a purpose. So you have to set a definite goal combined with focused thoughts, because that's the key to achieving success. So in chapter 5, we'll be talking about the third factor in achievement. Your achievements are tied to the thoughts. If you want to achieve a certain goal, you must think and act as successful people do. You sacrifice based on the measure you want to achieve. Be focused and have a positive mindset to achieve your goals. Sacrifice is an essential component for achievement. If you fail to achieve, it's because you're not focused on achieving and developing your goals. So therefore, you need to be focused and have a positive mindset to achieve your goals. So in chapter 6, we'll be talking about visions and ideals. Your visions and ideals, cherish them. Dreams are the seedlings of reality. To desire is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. Your vision is the promise of what you shall be one day, and your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. When you have a vision, you work towards it. Your dreams can be realized. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, that will build your life. So, in chapter 7, we'll be talking about scenerity. Calmness is one of the characteristics of wisdom. When we are calm in a measure that we understand ourselves, our thoughts evolve as thoughts evolved beings. We develop a right understanding about internal relations of things. Calm people have learned how to govern themselves and know how to adapt. Self control is strength, and right thoughts is mastery. Then calmness is power. So, here we'll be talking about the book review on From Poverty to Power. The first paragraph is talking about lessons of evil. Unrest, pain, and sorrow are the shadows of life. Evil is the direct outcome of ignorance. So, when its lessons are learned, ignorance passes away. Evil is corrective and remedial, therefore, is not permanent. It's not sufficient to deny or ignore evil, it must be understood. So, here the author is trying to say that people fondly hope to enter happiness, which will not pass away, but eventually it will, because they are living in ignorance. What they are meant to do is try and understand and move away from ignorance. As evil is the direct outcome of ignorance, so when the lessons of evil are fully learned, ignorance passes away and wisdom takes its place. So, in the second paragraph, we'll be talking about the world, a reflex of mental states. Whatever you are, so is your world. With your thoughts, you can make or break your life. Your world is a reflex of your thoughts. Circumstances can affect you so far as you let them do so, and it does because you don't have the power over your thoughts. So, here the author is trying to say that all that you positively know is contained in your own experience, your own thoughts. So, the world is a reflex of you. The way out of undesirable conditions. It is useless to desire more time if you are already strong, if you already strong the time you have. Money does not constitute true wealth nor position, and to rely upon it alone is to stand on a slippery space. Rectify your life, be rectifying your heart. So here, so here, the author is trying to say that it is useless to desire more time if you are already wasting what the little time you have. If true wealth is your stock of virtue and your true power, the use the use is to which you put it. Here, the author is also trying to say that hatred, anger, jealousy, envy, lust, and greed are all destructive forces, and anyone who comes in contact with them will experience the pain and suffering because all these conditions of the mind are called evil, and there is no room for a complainer in a universe of law, and worrying is a soul suicide. So, in the first paragraph, we're talking about the silent power of thought, that's controlling and directing one's thoughts. The silent powers are the most powerful forces in the world. Every thought you think is a force sent out. That is, in accordance with the nature and intensity that will go out to seek a lodgment in minds receptive to it and will react upon yourself for good or evil. The difference in the novel, they also listed that the difference between a savior and a sinner is that one has a perfect control of all the forces within him, and the other is dominated and controlled by them. In the second paragraph, we'll be talking about the secret of health, success, and power, the secret of abounding happiness, and the realization of prosperity. To dwell continually on good thoughts is to throw oneself around a psychic atmosphere of sweetness and power, which leaves its impulse upon all who come in contact with it. Passion is not power, it is the abuse of power. The secret of abounding happiness is to love yourself. Prosperity is an inward realization. Talking about the secret of abounding happiness, happiness is that inward state of perfect satisfaction, which is joy and peace, and from which all desire is eliminated. If you lose yourself in the welfare of others, you forget yourself in all that you do. This is the secret of abounding happiness. Talking about the realization of prosperity. Since we said that prosperity is an inward realization, nature gives all without reservation and loses nothing. So when you get greedy and try reaching all, you lose all. So in the last paragraph, we're talking about the power of meditation. Meditation is the pathway to divinity. It is the intense dwelling in thoughts. Spiritual enlightenment is not about renunciation, but it's about inner transformation. Live with ego and find peace in the presence of truth. Real strength and influence comes from living by principles rather than seeking pleasure. Only a selfless heart can know the peace of heaven. People who are perfect, calm, and forgiving do so under all circumstances. A pure heart is the end of all religion and beginning of divinity. So in Bible, the three types of meditation, the meditation of love, meditation of pity, meditation of joy, impurity, and seniority. So in my own understanding, meditation of love means making yourself care for other people around you, including your enemies. For the meditation of pity means thinking of people's distress so you can arouse an emotion for them. Meditation of joy means thinking of um, prosperity for others, yes. Then meditation of impurity, it means considering evil consequences of corruption. Meditation of sincerity, regarding your own faith with impartial calmness and tranquility. Despite all this, we should work hard with diligence to make it in life. Thank you.